Imagine what the world would be like if the internet simply shut down and didn't come back on. What would happen to us if there was a spontaneous web blackout for 1 full year? Could our society handle it? Our economy? And what about the Kardashians' global empire? Brainiacs, hold on to your smartphones and make sure you've downloaded all your favorite Marvel movies to a hard drive, because today we are shutting down the internet for 1 year. If our internet just clicked off one day, oh boy, would things get messy. Airports would stop all departures, GPS systems for cars would be gone, and there would be a huge influx in traffic. Simple automated services like tolls for the road, traffic lights, and automated power grids in towns and cities would all stop working, and we'd be left in a huge jam. Many professionals, including journalists, academics, IT personnel, Wall Street, and of course online influencers, would have no jobs and essentially have a snow day. Obviously, the biggest area this would be felt is social media. As long as the internet's down, well, it just wouldn't exist. No Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, and definitely no TikTok. Smaller businesses and people who work from home would have no more clients, as the internet is how they advertise, deliver products, and get their name out there. As we're sure you can imagine, communication would be crippled. All online news outlets would instantly shut down, and our texting, emailing, podcasts, FaceTime, and cell phone services would be gone too. Digital cable wouldn't work, so if you wanted updates on what was going on out there, you'd have to use an antenna for your TV or dust off that old radio. But this first day wouldn't be the end of the world as we know it. It might even be fun, kinda like a huge sick day for the world. But Brainiacs, we're talking long-term here, as in 1 full year without the net. So, how would we fare as the first week passes by? After a full 7 days later, things are looking pretty bleak. Our world is intimately entwined in the web, with 48% of people on Earth connected to the internet, and in the United States, 99% of people have the internet. So, yeah, you could say we'd be affected. Economically, this would be devastating. The stock market would crash, and global banking and trading would be gone. The shipping of goods between nations would have to shut down, as they are all coordinated by the internet. Huge companies like Google and Amazon would go out of business, leaving thousands and thousands of people jobless. Google alone employs over 20,000 people. And online banking, forget about it! We'd have no digital transfer of funds, credit or debit cards, or Apple Pay. Anyone who said, "Bitcoin is the future," well, your digital dollars are now worth diddly squat. Tangible cash and writing checks would make a comeback. However, if you think you're going to stroll up to the bank to get your funds, well, everyone else is thinking that too. This rush of people would cause a run on the bank, which means there's not enough tangible money in the vault to give out to meet demands, and the banks would have to shut down. If you think this wouldn't cause riots in the streets, you'd be wrong. Speaking of riots, this new world sans internet would have an incredibly tough time coordinating food shipments. People would panic as slowly but surely grocery stores had less and less food. It'd be chaos. Now, let's think ahead months and months. We're coming up on a year without the web. How's everything looking? After the initial shock and panic of the crashing stock market, the global economy in chaos, the insane amounts of traffic, the almost complete halt of communication, our military losing its intelligence, power failures, and more, we would actually start to get back on our feet. The internet has only been around since 1990, when it was invented by Tim Berners-Lee. That's not that long ago. While we absolutely are a digital society in many ways, we still use gas-powered cars, still have radio, and still have a working post office system. Slowly but surely, we would revert to how we got along only 3 decades ago. Research would have to be done in libraries. Newspapers, magazines, and broadcast TV would make a comeback as our main source of information and advertising. And we would start to build relationships with our local vendors due to the lack of online shopping. Culturally, there'd be a huge shift, and there's an argument it would be for the better. People wouldn't be in their phones all the time. Local meetups for anyone with similar interests would start to happen again, as online forums are long gone. This wouldn't be such a bad thing, and slowly, as international communication and our means of transportation started working again, though maybe not as smoothly as before, we'd be okay. Life would be less convenient, for sure, but it wouldn't be a complete doom and gloom society. Human beings are resilient, and we would make it work. So, there you have it. The ups and downs of our internet shutting off for a year. It'd be a crazy, scary time. More than ever, we are reliant on the web, even more so in our future. But just to put your mind at rest, the chances of this happening are so slim that you really don't have to worry. But hey, who knows? Maybe it's best to stock up on some non-perishable foods and bottled water, just in case.